Guys, happy Monday. I hope you guys are doing well. I had to think about that for a second. Like, is it Monday? And it is. So, I'm doing a live with my friend Janine, and I met her in Vietnam, and we actually met through sharing our passions. And she still lives in Vietnam right now, and I'm actually gonna just have her join, and then we can talk more about it. But yeah, we're gonna do a live talking about what happens behind the scenes of our dreams. So let me go live with. Let's see. Is it working? There you go.
Oh no, I'm the wrong way around.
I like your. Are those bananas?
Oh no, how do I turn it around?
Um, I think there's a sign. Not a sign. There's like a couple of buttons at the bottom. Do you see it?
Yeah, I do. Wait,
There's the third button. Bananas, yeah.
I don't see a third button. I'm really. I don't. Yeah, usually it's
There
usually
are.
it's there, but it's not.
Okay, do you want to
It's not
exit and
there
then
today.
do you want to exit and then join again?
Yeah.
Okay. So, bananas. So, hey guys, thank you guys for joining. I hope you guys are doing well. Happy Monday. Let's see if this works. So, again, we're going to do a live conversation about what happens behind the scenes of us stepping into our dreams, like being life coaches and being speakers and some other passions that we have, like doing workshops and writing and stuff like that. So, we could have talked to the bananas too, right? How are you guys? Let's see. What are you guys up to tonight? Mm, okay, let's see. Let's try this again. Let's see. Maybe we'll get bananas again. Mhm. Oh, bananas! The bananas look good. Do you see
Oh,
the?
there. Okay, I
You
got
got
it.
it.
I got it.
Nice. There you go. We got it too. You got it to work. That
Oh my
that's a
god.
great
Oh
intro.
god.
Let's see. Mama Bear V said, "Girl, every time I see you post, it's always so positive and mindful. It always makes my day a little brighter." Aw, that's so sweet. Thank you. Thank you for joining.
Oh,
Awesome.
that's
So
so
this is
sweet.
Janine, and I was just sharing how,
Hello.
um, yeah, we met in Vietnam, sharing and doing our passions of meditation and workshops. And she froze. Um, did she freeze on your guys' end? Can you see? Okay, she's frozen. Okay, she left. And here we go. Thank you for that comment. That was so sweet. I appreciate it. Yeah, she's frozen. Okay. Let's see if she joins again. Okay. Hey. So we are waiting for Janine right now. I think we're having some connection issues. Hey. But yeah, we wanted to talk about what happens behind the scenes of stepping into our dreams. Let's see. Let's try this again. And Okay. Bananas! Oh, there
I
we
don't
go.
know what's going on.
Okay, hopefully this works this
Hello?
time. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? No? Oh, she's frozen again. Oh, bananas? Can you hear me? No? Three, two, one. No. Nope, she's frozen again. Okay.
Okay, I hear you now.
Okay, sweet.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, my internet was being a bit dodgy. I had to change. Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, it's working now, right? So,
Okay, yeah. Hopefully,
oh no. Still frozen. Internet slow. Ooh. So how are you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are having a good Monday. Good?
sorry. I just realized I had to change a setting on my phone because I have like a timer for Instagram, like 30 minutes. So I was like, oh
Okay.
no, it might just cut us off. So I made sure there's no timer.
Okay. Okay, so we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
It happens. It totally happens. It's the joy of being online, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So we wanted to talk about what happens behind the scenes of stepping into our dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about it, and we had so many things that we connected on what happens where people don't really talk about on social media, right? And yeah, so what happens behind the scenes? Like, I know we've talked
Yeah.
about
There are so many
how,
things. We were like, we have so many things.
yeah, heck yeah. So we were talking about how doubt kicks in, how lack of confidence, how comparison. And we also talked about like what is it, imposter
Yeah.
syndrome?
Okay. A lot happens. Yeah, as we talked about.
Yeah, I think there might be a delay too within our videos. Yeah. So what happens with
Yeah,
you
for sure.
opening
Yeah,
the
there's a lot of things. So,
oh,
I see
okay, it's
you.
gonna be
Are
a
you still
delay.
there?
Yeah. This is gonna be super interesting. So then opening up the conversation on your end, like what happens when oh it's frozen. Okay. Imposter symptoms. No. Imposter syndrome. Imposterous symptoms. That's funny.
Okay. Okay, I literally just cut my Wi-Fi off because I think that's the issue. So,
Okay, let's see if this works.
okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll just introduce myself a bit first. So yeah, I'm Janine, obviously,
Mhm.
and yeah, as Nuria said, we met in Vietnam, and she hosted a wonderful like meditation group and book club as well that I miss a lot. Um, so yeah, like we both kind of are on a similar path now. Like we both decided to become coaches. So I decided I want to do that like a year ago. So yeah, I mean I'd already dabbled a bit. Like I hosted a workshop, like my first one, like at the start of last year, I guess. Yeah, the start of 2020. And I was just kind of experimenting, seeing what I wanted to share, and then I decided like yeah, basically like a year ago, I wanted to be a coach and like help people that way. And yeah, I think one thing I want to say to start with is like I think it changes a lot as we grow. Like what I wanted to help people with at the start is like very different to now. And I think that's a really interesting thing about our dreams. Like our dreams do not just stay the same all the time. And like we have to like be okay with them changing and evolving. And you know, maybe we have this dream and then it doesn't really feel right anymore. Like it's okay to like, let that go. That's what it's been like for me anyway, like changing a lot. Like first of all, it's like mindfulness, and then like I want to help people with following their dreams. There still is an element, but now it's very much about self-love, and I just want to help like all women like love themselves more, and that's like what I'm so passionate about now. Um, so yeah, that's I think like it's really important to make space for that to grow and evolve, and it doesn't have to like just be that one thing you thought of 5 years ago.
Yeah. And I really love that you pointed that out because dreams do change. They totally do. I know I wanted to be X, Y, and Z at some point, and then when I started doing the whole life coaching or this like speaking and stuff like that, it was a lot of outside, external, follow your dreams, and then eventually it trickled down to connection with yourself, which goes back to like self-love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So thank you for pointing that out. And it's true, and it's work to also be open, right? Because it does change every season.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I think just yeah, letting those things go. I think we find that really hard. We're like, oh, but like, you know, I've been working so hard towards this one specific thing. And
Uh-huh.
like, if it just doesn't feel right in our heart anymore, like, we just have to like let it go. And that is hard to do for sure, like to let
It
things
is.
go because if we put so much like time and energy into something, we kind of like want to just keep going.
Yeah.
But I think it's, yeah, with our dreams, it's really important that yeah, it doesn't have to be like logical, like, oh, like I'm gonna do this. It's like about
Mhm.
following your heart, which I know you're very much into as well. Like following your heart, your intuition, and it doesn't have to like make sense or like even you might have a dream and you're like, how can I even do that? Like,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have to make sense right now.
Yeah. And even going back to like the letting go part of it, it's like when you let go, you make more room for what's meant to be. Because, and something that my friend Carla and I have talked about is that one thing might be leading you to the next thing and so forth. But it's baby steps. Like it's meant to
Yeah, for
be in that
sure.
moment, and then you let go, and then something else comes up. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I know we talked about that a lot, and yeah, it is very like up and down. Like it does not just go like, okay, everything's great.
Straight.
Like it's so yeah, it's so like up and down. I think especially like yeah, for us, like we're like doing it ourselves. So yeah, that is, you know, more difficult.
It's like there's no guide to follow in a way. There's no
Yeah,
booklet
yeah, yeah.
in a
Yeah,
way.
which is great. I think like I go between feeling like, you know, really excited and empowered about the idea of like just being able to do what I want. But then sometimes it's like really scary. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, but I could do anything. Like that is also scary. And I think yeah, that's like a thing, like being scared of like what we could do as well, like being scared of like our power, you know.
Yeah.
And
Because there
it's
can
like,
be that
yeah,
I know when I was in that space, it was like, which one's the right choice? There's so much. Like, am I gonna make the right choice? Like, what if I regret it? What if this doesn't lead to what I want? And so forth. So you can go down like a rabbit hole if you get stuck in
yeah,
it. Hmm.
yeah. I think,
I wanted
yeah, I think if
to
you,
point out somebody asked because we mentioned earlier what goes on behind the scenes of doubt, lack of confidence, like making it personal comparison, and I mentioned imposter syndrome. So somebody asked, "What is that?" Mama Bear V asked, "What is it?" So I want to explain it. I actually looked it up and found a definition on Google. So this is per Google. So it says basically feeling like a phony. So it's a pattern in which an individual doubts their skills, talents, or accomplishments and has a persistent internalized fear of being exposed as an imposter. So it basically means that, right? Like feeling like a phony, like what you're doing is not real. And I guess you can agree or disagree. We've talked about how we felt like this before as well, and being called out on it. And there's that fear.
Yeah, I think I see it like it very much links, I think, to like our kind of idea in society that, in order to like do a job, you need to have these like certain like qualifications and like credentials, and like you need to follow this specific path. I think that that's what I feel like for me, like feeling like an imposter is like, yeah, being like, oh, like, one day I just woke up and I decided to call myself a coach. Like, how can I just do that? Like, to be
Yeah.
a coach, you don't need to have qualifications. Yes, you can get them, but it's like, for me, I like it because it's the kind of thing that, yeah, you don't need to have those traditional things that society tells you, like, you need a degree or you need, like, it's all coming from, often it's you sharing about your own experiences and helping others,
Yeah.
through what you have learned, which
Yeah.
is powerful in such a different way to just like, learning the degree and like the logical stuff, but it's not the same on the same level as like when you have that like emotional intelligence, I guess that's the
Yeah. It's like we're guiding from our life experiences and the feeling, like that core within ourselves. Yeah. And
yeah.
I felt like that too in a way where it's like, who am I to be a life coach? Like, who am
Mm,
I? And I know I had this too when I made the meditation like book club, where I had this thing of who am I to guide meditation or who am I to lead book clubs, and just putting
mm,
myself down with my fears
yeah.
and afraid that somebody was going to call me out saying, "Who are you?" And
Yeah.
then that's like the
Yeah.
fear of like, "Oh shit. Like who am I to be doing these things?" Because you're right.
Well, yeah.
Going back to the idea of we have to have a certificate or we have to have a degree, it's so in our minds that if we don't have it, then we're not validated to do what we want to do or our passions or our dreams. That's a really good
Yeah, for
point.
sure. I mean, I think it's just because it's like against like what's seen as like normal. I
Uh,
always do normal in like quotations
like,
now because
what
like
is normal?
what is normal? Like we get taught like it's normal to do a degree and do that job and like follow this certain path. But like so yeah, when you do things differently and if you just start a book club or a meditation group, then that's if people react to that, it's just because they're getting triggered because they're like, oh, like they probably didn't even realize they could do that. Like when I first started
Mm,
posting things or doing things by myself, like posting things, organizing things, helping people, I was like, oh, like I can just do this and like, yeah, I can just organize this and do this. Like no one's told me to do this, and it's like a liberating feeling because I feel like
mm,
so much of our lives, we get told like, oh, at school you have to do this, and then you like have to do this, and it's
yeah.
kind of just like this is what you have to do. So kind of like choosing for yourself is like one of the best feelings.
And I also want to point out, like, you're actually, and I know you said this when you talked, like, you're the main reason why I was influenced to make a workshop. Because I had the idea to create a workshop, but you made them in Vietnam and I attended to them, or I attended. And I remember it went well and people gravitated to it and I had a good time and it was really, really good. And I remember it watered that seed of mine of, hold on, I can do this. Like, let me just try it out. Like, who knows? I'm still
Yeah,
working on it,
yeah,
still.
yeah. I think you have to have that attitude. It's like just as I said, just try it and see what happens
Yeah.
because like I try to have that attitude as much as possible, like just go for it and see what happens. But
Hmm.
like yeah, so often we get plagued by our fears, like we're scared of failure or like what other people are going to think and like all these
Yeah.
things, and it just like stops us. But even if you just do it like one time, like you kind of see, no matter how it goes, even if it doesn't go that well, like it kind of just shows you like you can do that, like
Yeah. And
and
I want to point out something because it's so true. Like, our mind thinks that we can't and comes up with all these reasons why we're not good enough, why we could fail, why we suck, all these reasons. But then when you actually do it, the physical experience is the opposite of what our mind thinks. Like when I had these fears or the doubts of making the book club, meditation club, and people started showing up and they were sharing and they were being open, it totally shut all of those thoughts. Like,
Mm.
oh, my head isn't right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you see the real evidence. That's the thing. Like, our minds will always play tricks with us. So, like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's like a coaching thing, like a common coaching thing, like find the evidence that like
Mm.
proves that wrong. You know, when you have that thought, you know, like catching your thoughts, like, oh, you're like, oh, I can't do that. It's like, where is the evidence to say that I can't do that? Like,
Yeah. Pointed it
there's
out.
probably nothing, like, there's no evidence. And like, oh, like,
Uh-huh.
where's the evidence that I can do that? Well, like, you just do it.
That's
And
that's
yeah,
true. That mm.
it always feels harder in your head as well. Like before I did that first workshop, I was like, oh, like I don't know how it's gonna go, like, you know, really worrying about it. And then
Uh-huh.
as soon as I like kind of fell into the space and like, you know, everyone was there and like I was just like, oh, like this is much easier than I thought it was gonna be, you know.
Yeah.
We make things feel so much harder in our head, like it's gonna be like such a huge challenge. Then when
Yeah.
you actually do it, you're like, oh, this is like not actually that hard.
It's totally the opposite.
Yeah.
Totally the opposite. That's so true. And how do we get to that point? Like, because I know it happens, I know this is common. Like, it's not just with workshops. Like, it happens when we're doing live videos, when we're doing like a live life coaching call. Like, it's a constant thing. So, what are some tools? And I think it gets easier as we do it. But what are some tools that you use to prep for that for that in a way?
Mm, I don't know. I don't know if there's like specific things. Like,
Uh,
yeah, I don't know. I think like one thing that's really useful is like connecting back to like why you want to do that thing. So whether
yeah.
that is like you want to start posting something or like helping people in some way, whatever it is, it's like yeah, like connecting like why do you want to do that, and like you know, because
Yeah.
that will probably always be bigger.
You're so
Well,
right.
it might seem hard to see that as bigger when your fear is kind of getting there, but like
Um,
if you can just reflect and even like write down or just like if you have it written somewhere, just like why am I doing this? Like, you know,
yeah.
even you want to help people, and even if you help one person, you've helped someone. And
Mhm.
yeah, I think like
It
connecting with that and
mhm.
yeah.
It goes back to intention because as you're saying that,
Mm-hmm.
whenever I have those doubts or the fear or whatever kick in, I always remember my intention. Like, what's my intention with showing up to this,
Mm-hmm.
to showing up to the workshop, to showing up to the live coaching call, showing up to the lives? What's my intention? And it seems that when I connect back to that, everything else doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Let's see. Mama
yeah.
Bear V says, yes, I've been working so hard on acknowledging those thoughts and trying to turn them around into something positive. It's a daily practice and something we should all try to do to better ourselves.
Oh,
Uh,
that's lovely.
Being aware of those thoughts. Yeah. And it goes back to what you're saying too about journaling. Because when we put all those thoughts or those fears on paper, we kind of disconnect with them and
Yeah.
we see like, okay, what is the truth of these fears, these doubts, whatever it is. And then you realize like, oh wait, hold on. Like they're not real.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's really powerful. I think journaling is, yeah, a really powerful tool. Like when you have like, yeah, this like self-doubt or fear or anything. Like I
Uh-huh.
know I've done it before, like it was just like answering the question, like, what are your biggest fears? And I literally wrote down like kind of all of
Uh,
the fears, like, you know, fear
yeah.
of failure, fear of judgment, fear of all of like fear of it not turning out right and like all these different things, and then you just like write it down and you're like, you know, and find the evidence, like why you don't need
Mm,
to listen to that fear. Like,
yeah.
yeah, like, yeah, like reframing it, like, oh, you know, you maybe automatically think, like, oh, I can't do that. It's like, oh, like, what if I can? Like, what if that actually goes really well? Like, imagine I like to see like the ripple effect. So like, you know, if you do that one thing, like imagine what could happen. Because I've always found like when I've done those scary things.
Uh-huh. Ooh, did she freeze? Hey, Angie. Angie says, love the positive energy. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. Let's see. She's frozen. Let's see. Let's take a moment. But yeah, so going back to what we were talking about, writing down your fears is so powerful. And okay, she left. She'll come back. So writing down your fears is so powerful. I actually did that before I left to Vietnam, and it's so powerful to see them and how she was saying you become aware of that and you can totally make a change of it once they're once it's out on paper. And I became aware of the fears before I did the meditation slash book club. And actually, my best friend Carla and I, we were hanging out this weekend, and we have a couple of projects that we're working on. And we did the same thing this weekend. We wrote down all of our fears. And what we were talking about, like you see them and you can transform them. Let's see. Okay, you're back. So I wanted
So
to
I was used.
mhm. I
Yeah,
wanted
go ahead.
I wanted to share like yeah, writing down your fears, because something that I've done before and something that I actually did this weekend was just that, like writing down your fears and meditating to it
Yeah.
actually. And that's super super fucking powerful, and I actually had forgotten about that. But yeah, putting it on paper and meditating to it, and you feel and you come to realize the truth of
Yeah.
what it really is. Or yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
Mama Bear V said putting it on paper helps. It becomes tangible. Can I say this word? Tangible. Instead of just thoughts, it's something you can see and feel in a different sense. Totally makes sense. Oh, hey Daniel. Yeah. I wanted to touch on also taking a break, because we've both done that,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
And touch on how, again, like society, our world has this perspective of we have to be on the go 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 and we have to be on top of
Mhm.
it, and if we're not, then we're lazy or we're not focusing. Like just so much X, Y, and Z thoughts.
Mhm.
So I wanted to talk about the break and how powerful that is.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you like to share
Yeah, it's
your
really,
would you like to share your
yeah.
experience on taking those breaks?
Mhm. Yeah, it's really powerful. And as you said, yeah, we're just taught the opposite. But like I find, I mean, it's true. Like if you just keep going and you don't give yourself a break, then you just feel horrible. Like, you can be so tired or overwhelmed or burnt out, and you're kind of like, oh, like why has this happened? It's like because you just don't rest.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it's something I'm learning more. Like I still am noticing like sometimes I find it really hard to rest. You just have like
Mm.
in your head you're like, oh, I could be doing this and I could be doing this,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's definitely hard, but like it's so necessary. I
It
actually
is.
had like a big break over the weekend. Actually, you don't know this, but I'm going to tell you this now that you inspired me to
Oh,
take some silent time.
oh, that's awesome.
So I didn't speak for 45 hours.
Oh my God, you did a silent vow. Oh my
Yeah, I
God, fuck
did.
yeah. That makes me excited.
Yeah, so I did that, and then I went away. Like I stayed in an Airbnb for a couple of nights, like still
Uh-huh.
in the city, but I just like stayed by myself. So I was
That's
totally by myself, and I did that, and I also like wasn't on social media at all for 2 days, and I just totally like disconnected, and it was like,
oh.
yeah, it was such a good feeling, but it also felt kind of strange, like, I literally like didn't have Messenger or anything. I wasn't contacting anyone,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, it was like, this feels so good. Like, why is this not seen as like more normal? But like,
Yes.
it was, yeah, it was really refreshing. Like, it definitely helped me. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
for this week, I feel a lot better, and yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
it's really powerful.
So to share a little backstory to the silent vow, a couple months ago, I did a 4 day silent vow, like no technology, um, just no speaking, none, like just quiet for 4 days. And I was telling Janine a little bit how before that space, I was kind of in that space too, of like doubt, like comparison, like I have to show up as a life coach, like this and like that. And again, like going back to the imposter syndrome space. And then other shit was going on too. And I had this gut feeling like just be quiet and go within. And I took a break. And again, it was scary, right? Because in my mind, it's like I'm just starting out to be a life coach and to put myself more out there, and I'm going to take a break. Like, who does that? And I did, and it was so transformative where I got more ideas, like I got more in touch with like myself and who I am and the whole comparison on social media, like I became more aware of that and how much social media does affect your mind, you know? And yeah,
Hmm.
it's super super powerful. So I we both suggest everybody to do like a, like no social media, maybe like a little silent vow, but super powerful. I think it's
Yeah,
needed. I totally feel like it's needed at least once a month to take that time for yourself, like just silence. I'm such a big believer, and I have
yeah,
this just strong gut feeling that everything is within us, like our answers, like so. Totally, totally suggest it. And another, yeah. So, is there anything you would like to add to that?
yeah, for sure. Like, I think especially, yeah, I resonate with what you say about disconnecting from social media. Like, it's so so needed. Like, to give ourselves that right, because we just can be like so connected all the time, and we feel like we have to message people all the time and like just be contactable and reachable, and it's a lot of
Yeah,
like energy. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and yeah, it takes a lot of energy. Like, if you're like, messaging all these people and doing all these things, you don't really think about it, but then you're like giving your energy to all these different people, and it's just like, uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. And another thing to touch on too, like in a way to how we get through these feels or these thoughts of the doubt and insecurity and stuff like that. I know a big one that we talked about too was sharing how we feel with others who are also in the same field or in the same arena, like Brene Brown says it, because we realize that we're not alone. Oh, she froze. Okay. Hey guys. Hey Paula. Okay, she's frozen. Mm, okay, are you back? You're back. Okay.
why is my internet so bad?
It's okay, it happens. But yeah, like
Did you ask?
yeah, like touching on sharing how we feel and being honest with ourselves, and not only being honest with ourselves, but it's nice to also share this with other people who are in the same field arena, because we realize that we're not alone. Like I know when you and I were talking, we were like, oh shit, like we feel the same way. And that's something that we also don't see on
Mm-hmm.
social media.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I can hear what you're saying, but it's really bad quality. I think it's because of my internet, but just
Okay.
FYI.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's so important to, yeah, to surround yourself with those people like that are supporting you. And yeah, especially if you can have those people in your life that are like doing similar things, or maybe not even similar like areas, but they're also like going after their dreams and they are motivated and inspiring, because yeah, it just helps you so much when you have those people to share with and relate with. As you said, like, we related so much to each other in our chat the other day, and
Yeah.
yeah, like having that community around you, and also like knowing that even like through Instagram is like an amazing place to connect with those people, like people that, you know, post things that inspire you. Like, feel free to like reach out to them and like tell them how much you appreciate their content, or like, you know, say you really resonate with what they're sharing, because I've made like so many friends on Instagram, like some of my closest friends, and like it is like an
Um,
amazing place. So even if you don't have those people like physically in your life, you can have them like online, and that's amazing as well.
yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I'm like, okay. Okay. So I did, is there any, just to make sure. So I know we are hitting our 30-minute mark. So is there anything else that you would like to share?
Um, Let me see. What do we talk?
I actually put it in my notes. Because I really liked what you were sharing with me about the album that you create. And whenever you're in that space, you go back and you read what people, um, yeah, can you explain that? Because I don't want to explain it.
Wait, I can hear you, but it's a bit crackly. So just repeat it.
Okay, when we were on the phone, you mentioned an album where people send you like reviews or what they thought of your work, and you keep it on your
Oh
phone.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I got that from my old coach, the idea. So it's like something you can create on your phone to come back to when you are like doubting yourself or something. And you can basically like make like a folder on your phone, and you can just like screenshot like, you know, like nice messages people have sent you, or like, yeah, words of wisdom people have like shared with you, like, you know, saying that you've helped them, or like, you know, just anything that like makes you feel good and kind of like boosts your confidence. And
um,
you just like make a folder on your phone of all those things, and you can come back to it. That's a reminder for me as well to do that. I haven't
yeah.
updated it in ages. Um,
I have to start mine, and I have
yeah,
to send you
feel
yours.
good folder.
I really, really love that idea. Awesome. So this concludes, I think, our talk, right? Thank you so much for joining me.
Yay! Thank
Is
you
there
for
anything
having
that you would like to add?
me. I'm so sorry about the technical issues, but yeah, it's been great to
It's
talk to
okay.
you.
Yeah, it's so good to talk to you too. So we'll do some more videos together.
Yeah,
Awesome.
for
Did
sure.
you,
Thank
did
you for
you,
joining, everyone.
yeah. Thank you guys. Much, much love. Bye.
Bye. Bye.